Hello, welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mark Bayeski YouTube channel. I'm here with a beautiful soul. Would you like to just introduce your full name?
My name is Anete Buhring.
And this beautiful soul I met about 4 months ago. It could have been a little bit longer. And we met by just passing each other. And I looked and I went, oh, she's got a lovely crystal, and it reminds me of one of mine. And I thought, oh, it is one of mine. And I went, and then the next time, I think we did it 3 or 4 times, and then I had the courage to say hello. It's a lovely crystal. And then this was in Banana Kitchen, where I come every morning. And I was thinking about, oh, maybe one day I'll open a little shop. And I thought, well, it'd be nice next to the Banana Kitchen. Anyway, I found out that they were leaving, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll see. And the owner said, no, it's been taken. I went, oh, that's nice. I'm glad it's gone, you know. If it was meant to be, it was meant to be. And then I found out it was you. And then I was like, oh, what's going on? What are you doing? And you've done such a lovely job. Maybe I can show you all around later. But what a gorgeous place. So can you introduce the name of your place? What's it called?
It's called Soundalchemystudio.
Soundalchemystudio.
Yes.
Beautiful. And what's the intention behind this, Anete?
It's actually in the name because it's how sound can alchemize our being.
Right.
On all levels, but firstly, physically.
Yeah.
So it's, we are all have issues with stress, emotional stress, mental stress, physical stress.
Yeah, apart from me.
Apart from you, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
But most of us. And
do.
I believe very much in prevention. Mm-hmm. Don't get sick. Start before with the healthy food, meditation, sleeping well, and for example, sound therapy.
How did you get into it?
That was my own illness story, if you can call it that. Yeah. I got already when I was a teenager, I got irritable bowel syndrome. Mm-hmm. I grew up with a borderline mother, and all her emotional outbreaks really made me anxious.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I was a teenager, I started to have problems in my stomach. And it developed into colitis when I was in my late 20s. And that was about the same time when my spiritual path started.
Wow.
And I was doing all the conceptual spirituality.
What's that mean?
That means mind stuff, concepts, more how to be pure and all this stuff. I stopped eating meat and drinking coffee and smoking. 27.
Wow, that's quite a young age to do all of those things.
Yeah, but it was, I'm calling it spiritual bypassing because it was only up here.
Yeah, it's a big word people are using now, spiritual bypass.
Yeah, but it was what it was.
It was, yeah.
So I kept on getting sicker because I was not addressing the issue. I was just, sitting home.
Yeah, that doesn't always work, does it?
It's
amazing when you try and explain that to people.
Yeah, it was not working for me.
Wow.
And I went to India 2 years in a row with my small son, going to ashrams and gurus and all this stuff.
And it wasn't working, it wasn't fixing the root cause. No. So that's a good thing to... This is a beautiful conversation because people need to understand that. Yeah. It goes deeper.
Goes much deeper. So I was suppressing all the symptoms I had in my body. Yeah. So that developed into cancer.
Wow.
8 years later, when I was 43, I got colon cancer.
Wow.
A tumor 8 centimeters, and it was spread to the lymph nodes. So I was in stage 3.
Jeez.
So I got a 50-50% survival.
Yeah.
So of course, they took the whole colon out because I was so sick. Yeah. But of course, I was looking for alternatives. How can I support the body? And they wanted to give me chemotherapy, and I got one time, and that will never ever happen again. I got so sick, and it's not that I'm saying
I understand.
it's
you
just
just
for me.
felt for you.
Yeah, for me it was not good. So I was looking otherwise where to find something. Then my husband and I moved here to Spain the year after, and 2 years later he got cancer, and he died 2 years later from cancer.
Wow, what a story!
There was a lot, yeah. But he has had lymphoma in the 4th stage, so that was very late. And we were doing a lot to again support the body. So the 2 years he was sick, he was okay. And when he died, it was from one day to another. So it was fresh. The last weekend he was standing in the kitchen. He loved to cook, so he was cooking and mixing dry martinis and really fresh. And then he had from the lymphoma, he had a tumor also in the colon, and it bursted.
Wow!
And he died.
And that was like, from him finding this out to him dying was a matter of what, days or?
No. It was 2 years he was sick. And so he got into remission. And
when
then
you said he was
again.
sick, was he actually physically ill through that time, that 2 years?
He had to have chemo.
All of those things,
Yes.
So that's really.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
a hard one, yeah. But that made us look again for alternatives. What can we do to support his body so he's feeling better? And he was feeling okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. There. So he was getting through it, feeling okay.
Yeah. And for me, when I'm looking at it now, it was a shock at the time. Now it's 9 years ago. But I was so happy that he could die a strong man. He loved to be a strong man.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. Like, wow, if I'm gonna go, that's the way I want to go. So thank you. Yeah.
Short time of course, a lot of pain, but then he was gone.
Yeah.
So.
And could I ask what you kind of felt like? It sounds like you know what started your cancer because of you believe it's the trauma of what you went through as a child.
For sure.
A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people think it's just because of the foods that we eat.
No.
But
it was a combination of a lot of
I think
things.
it's a combination of everything, but I think the major factor is the trauma that is held within us. That turns to like a darkness and starts eating away and causes the body to go into unbalance, and then disease and issue starts. So we have to root out the root cause.
I was suppressing it for years.
Can I ask you? Did you overcome your mother's experience? Have you, or are you still working on it?
We always have to repeat our patterns with our parents.
So they say.
Yeah. So I just was, after my husband died, I was alone for a year, going through all of this grief that was there. And then one day a man knocked on my door, and he actually did, a Spanish man. And he came into my life and took me by storm. He was a narcissist. And really, he would have been diagnosed. So it was the same pattern as I experienced with my mother, I experienced with him again. The same wounds was opened. And now when I'm finished with it, it was the biggest gift in my life because it opened me completely.
So, do you feel that your mother's trauma wasn't fully healed until somebody else came along to show you what you really needed to heal?
Yes, because I was still suppressing all the emotions about it. I was beginning to pay attention to the body, but there was still so much emotion that was not dealt with.
Yeah, and how do you? I mean, you can delve inside and try and pull out so much, but there's maybe so much more to pull out. And so many other triggers that happens to us in a day that, I didn't realise that. And I think a lot of the times I find it strange when psychics and healers say, you're all fixed now. And it's like, I've never said that to a client. I've never said that to somebody lying down. I just say, we're just peeling layers off the onion every day. Yeah. And if today's a good day, it's a good day, and we work on ourselves constantly. So the question is, when a narcissistic comes into your life, were you able to be strong enough to say, no, move him out of your life? No. So what happened then?
For 3 years we were married. Of course we got married very fast because that's what they do, too.
I don't really know that, so
but
that's interesting.
It's really like they have a script. you can go in and look at everything.
I've heard this story
it's
many
so
times,
crazy,
but
it's
it's
so
never.
crazy.
I've never heard it like
when you're
somebody
looking at
got a
it
script.
afterwards, it's really, really just mind blowing.
So a narcissistic is somebody who's already planned what he's doing in this relate. It's not like day by day that they're just doing it in the moment. They've already planned the script.
I don't think it's working like that. I think that they are wired in a different way than we are. And of course you have to have your own pattern to meet there needs to be a match.
Of course.
So it was all my trauma from my childhood that was being matched with this guy.
So your trauma matched his craziness kind of thing.
Yeah, and his craziness is trauma too.
Exactly. So like attracts like, but then you're not a narcissist, so that doesn't make sense. It's just, what makes sense to me is that the trauma that was your mum a narcissist then, or
borderline is the same category.
So you hold your mother's energy, which then can come out like a radio signal to somebody else who's attached to it. So the more you heal your suffering of other people's issues and narcissistic behavior that sticks in us, the more these people won't be attracted to you.
Exactly. The professional that knows about these, I don't know if I want to call it disease, but these states of mind.
Yeah.
They say that empath and a narcissist comes from the same trauma. They just take different decisions.
Different.
And that's why they attract, of course, in the end.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you can judge your own healing path by the partner that you're with. Sometimes.
Yeah, and
was your husband? Your first husband, what was he like then?
He was the wisest man you would ever know. So
then,
I'm not.
It's not 100% that you're always going to attract. I just think they're great lessons in life.
All the time. And I feel like the first one was also a big gift for me because I wouldn't have been ready for the work that was coming after.
That's true.
So because he just loved me and accepted me as I am.
Oh wow.
So it was just like.
What an earth angel.
Yeah, exactly. So
how many people just accept you for the way you are?
Exactly.
I mean, that is just like almost unheard of. People always want to change you to what they want, so they're comfortable in their world. That is what I practice with my partner. I don't say do this, be this, do that. You do exactly what you want, go exactly where you want to go. I love you for who you are, and that is freedom. That is freedom.
Freedom, yeah, that's the most important.
Yeah. So after all of this trauma that you've been through, which has made you the person that you are, which has made you the person that's come here and now practicing on sound therapy, out of all the therapies that you could have gone down, what is it about sound that really made you understand that this is really something that we all need?
For me, it's like when we, for example, meditate, it will take us about 15, 20 or more minutes to get into the alpha, theta and delta states.
Yes.
And that's where the body is starting to heal itself.
Yes.
This I call meditation on steroids.
You've got no choice.
In 2 minutes or 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you are in that state. And people are often saying like, it's like I'm fully present, but I'm far away. And then they're there.
So true. Yeah. That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah.
And you only get this when your clients tell you these things.
Exactly.
It's like when your client tells you, and sometimes you think you hear it twice, and sometimes you hear it again. Do you ever hear the word, I feel like I've got peace back, I feel inner peace? Do you ever hear that?
This is all about inner peace.
Well, this is how after a healing session, it's like clients should say, I just feel I'm in peace. And that is like, you couldn't, if you could bottle that up and sell it, you'd be a multi-billionaire. Yeah. So I've got friends, many friends who are in Mijas Pueblo, are in La Cala, all over, who do singing bowl therapy, and they love it. And I've experienced singing bowl therapy for many, many years. And whether it's in circle or whether it's one-to-one, but yours is slightly a little bit different because you actually take your crystal balls and lay them on your client.
Not the crystal balls,
No.
the Tibetan
Okay.
singing bowls.
The singing bowls.
They are made for that kind of therapy. So you have them on your body. You can have a session one day.
Yeah, I will, definitely.
You have them on the body, and then they start to vibrate. And you can actually feel it inside. And at the same time, your brain waves is starting to shift very fast.
Wow. So that's the brass ones?
Yes. That's Tibetan singing bowls.
How do you gong then, or do you do?
Yeah, no, you can see over there. I have like a mallet.
Yeah.
No, a mallet. What is it with the hair? That's
mallet. Yeah, mullet.
Then it's a mullet.
mullet. I know. It's like you just knock it.
Yeah, but very gently.
Just very gently.
Yeah.
These are I imagine, very high quality.
Yes, they are. They are. I'm educated or certified from Peter Hess Institute in Germany, and they are having those balls made in Nepal.
Specifically,
they're going down there to pick them up like you do with your crystals. So,
okay,
so
cool.
they are really, really good.
So tell us, you've got three crystal balls over there. What's the first one in pink? What's the first one?
The pink one is heart center.
Beautiful.
And the grey one, that's a rose quartz.
Rose quartz.
Because it's
it works on
crystal
the heart.
balls. Yeah. The one that is here is a charcoal in
charcoal. Yeah.
That is also the same note, but a different octave.
Okay.
So they are going into a synergy together, and that makes it even more deep.
Wow.
Inside.
So that's how you chose them. Did you choose by listening, or by what your mentors may have suggested?
I was super lucky because I bought them from, they call Anima Quartz in Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
It's a couple that have been doing this for years and years, and they have a lot of different singing bowls. So what we did was, I had the two you can see up there.
Yes.
That's the more old-fashioned, the white ones.
Yeah. Were they from China? Are they from
No.
China?
No. They are bought here in Malaga.
Okay, cool.
Those I made what do you call it, an sample and sent it to them.
Yeah.
And then they found someone that was matching my bowls.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about in Barcelona.
And I told them what exactly that I wanted.
Yeah.
What I want is that it's heart center,
but
you're grounded at the same time.
Wow.
And then I wanted the coherence, brain-heart coherence.
Wow.
So that's the small bowl and the blue bowl.
And the reason why you chose this resonance and this energy is because of what you feel is the greatest healing.
I'm always doing the singing bowls, Tibetan singing bowls, first on the body.
Yeah.
Then I have tuning forks.
Yeah, they're interesting. They look very interesting.
Yeah. Then I'm using on the head because you can activate the pituitary gland. Yeah. It's the master gland. And I'm doing it normally with 128 hertz. That is releasing nitric oxide in the body, and that's super good. That's like the happy pill.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm then activating with the points in the head.
Yeah.
And you also have on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm finishing with a small sound bath. Because then people are leaving here grounded in the heart.
Brilliant. It sounds perfect. It sounds beautiful. The only thing that I find with this field of work is that you can't force people inside this place. You can't pull them in. You can't make them come. And a lot of people are doing their best to try and heal. But in this kind of field of work, it is a bit challenging to get people to come through the door.
It's so new.
Yeah. And although it's been around a long time, it's kind of like still, we've not broken through to the norm. This isn't normal at the moment. So it's like, I don't really know it. So the people who come for coffees here, they might really not understand too much. So my suggestion, this would be one of my suggestions, if this was my place to get people to come in, doing videos, doing sound, and then putting them onto the internet, letting people have a taste of whichever you're doing today, short videos saying this is what we're doing, this is what I'm recommending today, but also offering a free 10-minute session, not lying down and do it, just sat down, the session around them, they feel it, they go away and say, you know what? That works, I'm going to do it. So as a healer 20 years ago, people really wasn't into healing. They were into tarot readings. Oh yeah, give me a tarot reading any day. Tell me my future. Tell me my future. Tell me my love. Tell me, you know, like, and what I would do is I'd do a tarot reading, but I would always make sure that I would do a healing session with them. So I say, yeah, I'll do a tarot reading, but it comes with a 10-minute healing session.
Yes, good idea.
And that, like, after the healing session, they had the reading, but then, like, after the healing session, which is 10 minutes, and you can blow somebody away in 10 minutes. They go away and then they want a healing session. Yeah. They want another healing. So introducing people, that's why I said the other day, if you just played some of the sounds when people are out there, when it's full, they're going to be curious. But also a sign that says free 10-minute introduction into sound. You don't need to say anything, just choose whatever, use that sound, and then say thank you very much. They go away, let the sound be their teacher, let the sound be the advertisement, you know.
That's a good idea.
So it's something that I would just recommend because of you know, the start of my career. At the beginning, it was like, how do you build a clientele up? And I was fortunate to have a shop in Mijas Pueblo, and it was only a small one, and I had a big sign up saying free psychic readings, free healing sessions. And I built up to the point where when I opened the shop in the morning, there was a queue of people. So then I realized I'm not going to open the shop anymore. I'm going to be a healer. And I built up a clientele. And although it was free, or they donate a little bit of something, then my transition was so easy to like, oh, now I've got clients because I've spent a couple of years. So it does take time to build.
Yeah, I just came down to the coast. I've been working inland. I'm living inland.
Where were you, if you don't mind?
I am in Alchemy now. I'm passing Mijas Pueblo and then down on the other side with Queen and a little bit further.
Okay, so you're in the campo basically.
Yes, and I was there, and I started this 4 years ago, going out doing sound bath with the big gong because I have gongs too.
Yeah, I saw
Not
the gongs.
here because it's too much noise here.
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
So I went down to retreats doing sound baths, and that was how I started. Now I just feel like it's time to do more client-based work.
No, I agree. I think it's a great time, and I'm here to, you know, make this video and introduce you to everybody around the world, but also to people who are on the Costa del Sol, or people who may be coming to the Costa del Sol for a holiday at any point, because many of my clients come here all year round. So hopefully they'll see this and say, oh, this sounds great, I'd love a session. And yeah, you've got Don Tolman's oil here as well.
Yes,
the
that's
golden relief.
I always use it before session.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's beautiful. Blows me away.
I'm calling this the future's vitamin pill. Because it is. It's not supposed to. Of course, I can go in with tuning forks like acupuncture and do specific work. And I always do that also if the client wants it. But I find it much more important to do the preventive work. Do the healthy eating, the sleeping, the exercise, and this. For example,
if you ever hear, well, obviously you like the oil, so you know you've heard of Don Tolman.
Yes.
Well, Don Tolman has recommended a singing bowl for many years.
Amazing.
And that singing bowl vibrates to a certain frequency, and I've seen this singing bowl, and when you look inside the singing bowl, there's an actual illusion of a round ball inside, a three-dimensional round ball. This singing bowl was taken from dimension of a crystal bowl found back in the early times of the Egyptian period.
Oh, I'm curious now.
And this singing bowl, they found, I think this is correct, you'll have to speak to him about it, but the singing bowl was found with, they believed, had wine inside it. And they believed that they would play music to the wine, but actually they figured out it wasn't wine, it was grapes.
Okay.
And they used to put their fruit and their vegetables inside this singing bowl before they ate and played.
Yeah, you can do that with the...
Exactly, so all of this ancient wisdom has come to light again.
Exactly.
And I find it fascinating. So I think every singing bowl has a frequency. I don't think Don Tolman's singing bowl is the only one. I think each singing bowl has a frequency.
For sure.
And I also believe wholeheartedly that you can target a certain frequency within the whole of the body system, and I believe every single body part, which is the heart, the stomach, trauma, cancer, if you hit the same frequency, it can break that down and heal it.
That was what Raymond Rife did, and that was actually what we did with my husband. There's machines, Raymond Rife, many years ago.
No, I've heard of these machines.
Yeah, and that's specific frequencies.
The Tesla machines as well. There's there's so many different forms you can use.
What I like to say is that we're individuals.
Yeah.
So I think what is working for one person is not necessarily working for another person. Yeah.
Well said. This is the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I found as a healer. You're like, okay, that worked, and then I thought, oh great, if this works, it's going to work for the next person with cancer of the same type. And it never worked that way. You have to like, okay, well, I should be here because that's what I did on my last client. And then you find yourself moving to a different part of the body, healing that part, and then the client says, this worked. I could feel the difference. Like, okay, so why was I working there? The trauma could be rooted totally different to where the cancer. So sometimes you think that that because it sits in your stomach, it's going to be that, but sometimes you can heal the brain that then heals the stomach. So there's no set pattern, in my opinion, to anything. I think every client is an individual.
For me, this is help to self-healing, for sure.
Right.
So when I'm doing a treatment, I can feel where there's not a flow in the energy in the body.
Like there's a block or something.
I can just hear it on the vibration.
Amazing.
On the body. Yes, so it's not vibrating so much as if it's a free-flowing place. So I don't have to call it anything. I don't have to say, oh, there's this issue here.
Yeah.
Only this part is not vibrating as good as the rest of the body, and then we concentrate there.
It makes total sense. That's like you're a healer without a doubt. It's just a different modality of healing, and it's fantastic. Well, it's been great talking to you, and I'm thinking I'll link below any links that you have with this beautiful place, and we all wish you the best of luck. We hope that there's clients flowing through, and your passion is to help heal people. That I can see it and feel it in my heart. You are a good, kind, caring person, and I hope that people feel that and come to you and enjoy. Whether it's, I don't know how long the sessions are. Are they like
45 minutes to an hour, but it's always an hour because we're talking.
I get it. So if they have an hour session with you, that'll be great. So we'll link everything below, guys. And I hope you've enjoyed this little chat. And sound therapy has always been something that fascinates me, always. I think it's beautiful. And sound is, playing music, and this is more specific frequencies. So everything has its place, and I think this is a perfect place to heal trauma and feel better. And it is today's vitamin for sure. Is there anything that you'd like to say before we go? Anything like you like to ask or say to your client who may come?
I can tell that this week we have, or not this week, this month, we have half price. It's
our
birthday this month. So
that's beautiful. Yeah. Half price. That's
half price
okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything online where you've got like a YouTube channel and you put a live session and then you'll play to the audience around the world? Or
I haven't done that because I really like
one-to-ones.
One-to-one, and people are here and they can feel, they can hear, and
makes sense.
It's more holistic for me.
It makes sense.
I'm happy for the online too, but it's not my thing at the moment.
No, totally get it completely, but that's great. So we wish you an absolutely amazing future, whatever you do, and thank you for being a great healer and for caring about the world. And it just goes to show that the most trauma that we go through, we end up being the greatest healer.
There's a reason for everything.
Yeah, there is. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's so lovely meeting you. So, okay guys, take care. Links below.